Hello out there in TV land.
Come on, everybody, time to make some noise with the boys. I miss my childhood. From Jodeci all the way down to Miley's behavior, one thing about me is that I've always loved me a good boy band. I don't know, it's just something about a group of dudes getting together and making musical magic that just does something for me. Do y'all remember when Disney gave us the most iconic fictional boy band ever? Let's get into it.
Well, I'm Ricky, this is Trey,
Sup?
and this is JJ. It's actually JJJ, but the third J is silent.
Now, for the first 2 seasons of That's So Raven, Boyz N Motion were only something we heard about. Teachers loved them.
Have you heard of Boyz N Motion? We love that band. Yeah.
They had Raven and Chelsea dropping it like it was hot in the cafeteria.
Boys! We are the Boyz N Motion! We give you our devotion, boys!
And hell, even our girl Tanya Baxter was hyped behind them.
So I won't be tired when the boys start their motion!
Disney had to know that the bag would be insane if they actually showed us those boys in their motion.
Tell them to bring me my money.
So you know they had to. The episode starts off with Victor at the Chill Grill reminding his staff that Boyz N Motion are booked to slide through. Now, I don't know what type of pool the Chill Grill had in the That's So Raven universe, but Boyz N Motion are as hot as fish grease, so Victor having them up in his restaurant is kinda crazy. Victor low-key that guy for real.
Boyz N Motion are coming down here today to the Chill Grill.
Anywho, the boys' sole reasoning for pulling up is for a private dinner, but Raven is there damn near ready to jump out her body. Victor was a cool father, so I could see him telling her, hey, them dudes you like supposed to be sliding through my spot, come on down and meet them. Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure he said it just like that, and this is way before the type of social media we have now, so I doubt Raven was able to keep up with them online. So Victor had to be the one to tell her about it and brought her along. Anywho, then Victor goes over the rules again. He says that the boys were booked there in hopes of a private dinner away from autographs, cameras, and screaming fans. Then a few seconds later, the boys arrive, and for the way they were hyped up for 2 seasons, I would say the casting director ate. This is exactly what I would think a group of dudes who call themselves Boyz N Motion would look like.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, showstopper.
Trey, the black one, of course, is played by Columbus Short. I want to say this was one of his first acting gigs because this is definitely before Stomp the Yard. But then again, I don't know him like that, and I'm not about to look it up, so take my word for it if you want. Then there's Ricky and JJ, and I won't pretend like I know them for something outside of this, but I'm pretty sure they be out there doing something, so shout out to them too. Question mark? Anywho, Raven is so excited that she snatches Victor up and says, thank you for having them, and thank you for having me. Victor tells her, and thank you for keeping it a secret.
Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
The hottest boy band in the world is eating at her daddy's restaurant, so you already know Raven been at school bragging about it. But she assures her father that she only told a few people who were lingering on her every word, but they promised to keep it on the down low. Well, somebody lied, cause then Chelsea shows up with a whole gang of girls. And you would think it's 1971 and Jackson 5 is in the building by the way them girls knock Victor out his socks trying to get to them boys. Now, even though Raven is quite literally the main reason their private dinner got ruined, she ends up saving the day by showing the boys an escape route. I remember being about 5 or 6 years old, sitting in front of the television and saying to myself, damn, Raven Baxter is really that bitch. Because what do you mean she just casually walked into her house with Boyz N Motion behind her and asked her mama if they could stay for dinner? Where they do that at?
Boyz N Motion!
I'm realizing now that Disney Channel is partly to blame for how delusional I am today, because when I was a child, I really believed that some shit like this could happen. Then mix that with all the years I spent on Wattpad and the fact that I'm a Pisces, oh, I never had an option to be mentally stable. I was always gonna be like this. Anywho, Tanya tells the boys that it would be an honor to have them stay for dinner, and then she questions them about what happened at the Chill Grill because you know that's where they were supposed to be eating at.
Craze fans near riot. Typical Wednesday.
Trey says that they can't even go back to their hotel because somebody found out they was in town and spread it around, and Tanya says, who would do such a thing? Your daughter.
Whoever did it probably had a simple lapse in judgment.
Or a big mouth.
Just to show the kind of star power the boys possess, they have Tanya, a sophisticated mother of two, all giggly and giddy. She tells them it must be tough to be famous. Trey says, well, yeah, like we said in our smash hit, fame can be a pain.
Fame can be a pain.
Then the boys go into more detail about the woes of being famous. Ricky says that one day he washed his face with a paper towel and the next day it was on the internet selling for major loot.
Really?
Rubs hands like Birdman.
Now we're in the kitchen with the boys and all three of their hungry asses are on their third plate. Ricky says that they've been on tour for years and haven't had a home cooked meal since their first smash hit, Bye 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 Home Cooking.
Bye, 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 home cooking.
As ridiculous as their songs sound, I just know if they had been a real band, my black ass would have been front and center in the Phantom, telling everybody that Trey is mine and they better not look at him. Anywho, then Ricky sadly says that he can't believe that they have to go back to their hotel room with all them screaming fans. This is when Raven tells them that they don't have to leave, that she was thinking they should take a step back from the crazy life and try to be normal for a little while. Then she basically offers up her house to them.
Mom, Dad, please tell them that they would not be putting us out.
So the boys will be staying there for the time being, which is insane now that my frontal lobe has developed, because a famous boy band staying at the house of a teenage girl sounds like the plot of a 2015 Wattpad story or the beginning of a true crime documentary. But
You're watching Disney Channel.
Anywho, then the boys thank Raven and tell her if she ever needs anything.
The boys got your back.
Now we're at school with Raven and everybody wants to know what happened between her and the boys because the last thing they saw was her leaving out the back door with them.
What happens between me and the boys stays between me and the boys.
Anywho, then Loca and Buffy walk up, and if you don't remember them, their whole reason for existing is to hate on Raven. So their whole reason for walking up is to hate on Raven. Buffy tells her that Bianca feels that she doesn't even know the boys. Who the fuck is Bianca? Because the last time I checked, their leader was a girl by the name of Alana, played by Adrienne Bailon, Raven's cheetah sister in another universe.
Baxter, you're breathing my air.
But it turns out that Alana was so bad that she got sent to military school. So now Buffy and Loca run with Bianca, who was so bad that she got kicked out of military school. And without even knowing Raven, she already doesn't like her.
Before we get off on the wrong foot,
Too late. I don't like you already.
Bianca tells Raven that the boys would never waste their time with her. Raven says yes they would, they got my back. Bianca says, and yeah, I was partying with Beyonce last night.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Is she nice?
I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb. I think she's dumb. I think, is she, do you think she's dumb?
She don't believe shit Raven is saying, and I used to be mad about this as a child, but now that I'm thinking about it, who would? Bianca tells Raven to just admit that she's lying, but Raven tells her, for your information, the boys are my boys, okay? They would do anything for me. They got my back like I said, ho. What she say all that for? Now Bianca wants her to get them to perform at a music festival that is conveniently happening at the school tonight.
done.
Bianca tells Raven that she'll believe it when she sees it before walking off. But before leaving, Loca low-key shows that she believes Raven a little bit by asking her if she can get her an autograph. Even though Loca was a bully and a follower, she was my girl the few times she did show up. I used to want her to somehow turn good and join Raven's friend group so bad back in the day. Oh, the things we could have had. Anywho, when they're alone, Chelsea tells Raven that when the boys show up to the festival, the whole school is gonna love her. But then Raven has a vision. Girl, what the fuck you done got us into? Now we're back at the Baxter's residence where the boys got them people house looking and I bet smelling a complete mess at 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm disgusted and so is Tanya.
Miss B, is it the dark 3:30 or the sunny one?
Not reading the room, Trey tells her, yo, Miss B, we really appreciate you letting us chill here. It feels good to be in a real home. Ricky chimes in and says, yeah, we're a real family. Tanya is so over them that she says, since we're keeping it real, can we keep it real clean? Meanwhile, Corey is still getting to the bag and I can't do nothing but respect it.
We can get big money for a lock of their hair.
Rubs hands like Birdman.
Then Tanya goes into the kitchen and delivers the boys' orders to Victor like he's the help, but that's definitely what type of time the boys are on. They got these people house looking crazy and at the same time telling them that they don't want their food touching. Diabolical work.
The boys do not like their foods to touch.
During the midst of this, Raven comes home and urgently wants to know if the boys are still there. Tanya says that they're in the living room thinking of more ways to work her nerves. She is over them. They knock the stars out of her eyes real quick. It's still insane to me that her and Victor are even letting these random dudes stay at their house. I guess it's solely based on the fact that they're famous. Either way, it's crazy. But
you're watching Disney Channel.
Anywho, then Raven tells her parents what occurred at school about how she told everybody that the boys would be there tonight. Then she tells them that if the boys don't show up, the whole school is going to hate her because I'm pretty sure that's what she connected her vision back to. Victor tells her, see Ray, this is what happens when you go around bragging. Raven thinks about it for a second, then says, but we shouldn't even be worried about this because the boys said they got my back.
No, but I thought you had my back.
Ricky tells her that if she would have asked yesterday, then they would have said what they said in their smash hit, Yes in a Heartbeat.
Yes in a heartbeat.
Bitch, we don't have time for this. Our girl is in a bind, Nate. At this point, Raven is stressed out. She says to them, I just don't understand. Why can't y'all perform just one song? They tell her that they can't because they have decided to get out of show business.
Why would you do something stupid like that?
You told us to.
Raven says no she didn't, but Trey clocks her tea and reminds her that she definitely told them that they needed to take a step back from the crazy life, take a break, and try to be normal for a little while.
Flashback.
Step back from the crazy life. Take a break. Try to be normal for a while.
This is 4K! How did they get you in 4K?
Then Raven tries to pull one of their moves on them. She tells them, well, what about your smash hit, Normal Ain't Cool?
Hey, that's not one of ours.
You just made that up.
No matter what Raven says, the boys have decided to quit, therefore they are not performing at their school tonight. Plus, they got them feeling real comfortable at the Baxter's residence, so why would they move?
Can you give this plate back to your mom? The turkey bacon's touching the eggs.
Raven goes back in the kitchen and sadly tells her parents that she guess the boys don't have her back. Our girl gotta figure something else out now. Then we cut over to the school where Bianca and her crew are on the stage giving it to the girls. I won't lie, she eating the girls up.
Bianca says run, you run. Bianca says hide, you hide.
After the performance, they make it a point to bring up the fact that Raven is nowhere in sight with the boys.
But, as Bianca predicted, the boys are not here.
But then Raven shows up and she tells everybody that they are about to see a show they will never forget. Now the boys have already said that they weren't coming, so what does this girl have up her sleeve? Then we jump back to the house where we can see that Tanya is fed the fuck up with the boys. She tells them that it's time for dinner while they're playing a game, but Ricky says not now, Mrs. B, and Trey tells her that they will holler at her when they're hungry.
I'll holler at you now.
Tanya tells them, look at the mess in here. Trey tells her not to worry about it, just have the maid clean it up because that's what they're used to.
Hello? This is not a hotel. I am the maid.
We're not doing such a hot job.
Oh, that sends Miss Tanya Baxter over the edge, baby. Now it's time to get them together. She gathers the boys by their edges and tells them that she doesn't care how famous they are. She lets them know that if they want to be like regular people, then they need to know that regular people have manners, they clean up behind themselves, and if they make a promise to have someone's back, they follow through for them.
Oh, now that's how you clear a bitch.
Cat in my house.
Now we're back at the school where the crowd is beyond restless and chanting, we want the boys. Now, like I said, the boys have already stated that they have decided to quit show business, but at the same time, we all know that Raven is not the type to give up, and we all know that our girl would do anything to prevent a vision. So is it even surprising that when the boys do come out, it's just Raven, Eddie, and Chelsea dressed like them? Anywho, of course they get caught. I don't think Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder would have fallen for that shit.
Oh yeah, motion, knick-knack, paddywhack.
With no other options left, Raven apologizes for bragging and tells everybody that she really does know the boys, but it's her fault for promising that they would be there without asking them first. She says that she hopes that they will accept her apology, but them people not trying to hear that shit, costing her vision to come true.
We hate Raven! We hate Raven!
But I'm guessing the way Tanya gathered them by their edges really got to the boys because then they actually end up showing up to the school. I'm so mad she got the perfect wig to match that man's hairstyle and texture. But anywho, then Ricky tells the crowd that he hoped they didn't mind the prank they had their friend Raven and her crew play on them. You know, coming through for our girl like they should have been did.
And her crew play on you.
Then we are blessed with one of the best performances from any boy group, real or fake, to this day.
To this day! To this day!
Boys, we are the Boyz N Motion. We give you our devotion.
Do I understand why that little twerk needed to happen? No. Did it change my life? Yes. Anywho, then the episode basically ends with Corey showing his parents how they can get to the bag too.
I'm sorry. Are you guys mad?
Man, we didn't think of it first.
Rubs hands like Birdman.
Even though I believe Disney could have built a whole franchise off their name, we only get to see the boys one more time after that.
Hello. Hello.
They show up in season 4 when Raven has her internship with the greatest fashion designer in the That's So Raven universe, Donna Cabana. Since Raven is still cool with the boys, she has the access to set them up to do a public service announcement video that Donna Cabana is going to be designing the wardrobe for.
Anything for you, right?
We've got your back, and that's a fact.
But then Donna Cabana ends up telling Raven that maybe she should do the designs for the video since she was the one who got the boys on board. Then, of course, Raven does something that makes the boys break up.
The boys are out of motion.
No, now Ricky, I can feel the motion in the ocean, homie.
And then get back together again.
The boys are back in motion.
Then we are blessed again with that.
Just be smart, be prepared.
You won't be scared as long as you're ready moment. Out of 100 episodes, Boyz N Motion only showed up twice and still became one of the most memorable things out of the whole That's So Raven franchise. Dare I say iconic?
Spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before.
Turn it up! That is my jam! It's in my car, shower, and Lonely Nights playlist.
The way my hair just gave up on me during the middle of this video is actually quite disgusting. I swear these bangs were curly when I cut this camera on. Now look at them. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Disney could have done so much with Boyz N Motion. I know one little girl who would have watched anything that had their names attached to it. I mean, anything. I would have been there front and center. I would have been there. I ain't gonna lie. I would have been there. I mean, a Boyz N Motion show would have ate. It would have ate. I'm not gonna lie. I would have been there. They could have gave us Chelsea and JJ. Oh my God. They would have been the perfect couple. I remember wanting that so bad because they both were slow. And it would have worked. It would have worked. But like I said, you know, it's too late now. It's too late now. Damn. All we could have had.